Ready, sir.
So, good morning, everyone, and I think this is lecture number 12 for modern physics. Today is a very fine day. Everyone is having a good time, and well, I forgot what we are doing in the last class. What you are doing in the last class? No one knows. Huh?
Filter current.
What?
Filter current.
Interference?
Filter current, sir.
Filter. Oh, I forgot that filters. Okay, so that may not come in your examination anytime. You just need to know what are the different types of filter, capacitor filter, LC filter. You don't have to understand that diagram. You just have to understand what is the input and what is the output. Do you remember input and output?
Yes, sir.
Then, sir, tell me, sir, what else did we do in the last class, sir? I think we were discussing something known as PN junction diode. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
A quick recap, a summary of what we had done in the last class. First, what did we remember? What do we remember from the last class? A quick summary. Who's going to give me the quick summary? I would like to hear some girls speaking. I mean, there are girls in the class, yes or no? Backbenchers, front benchers, girls are there. I just like girls. I mean, they are so hardworking and they are so sincere, and guys are not. I mean, is there a special AC window at the back bench that you get all the fresh and thanda thanda hawa there? Everyone is on the back bench, and I love back benches. I told you I used to sit on the back bench in my school because we used to sleep there. Yes.
Sir, girls are not speaking, sir. एक काजल रहता सर हमारे क्लास में.
What?
हमारे क्लास में काजल रहता सर, वो माइक नहीं ले रहा सर उन.
वो क्या नहीं ले रहा? I love the way you speak Hindi, ना? I love it. Yes. बोल क्या बोल रहा है?
हमारा क्लास में काजल था, काजल है सर एक लड़की.
काजल, अच्छा काजल वो जो बगल में बैठी है काजल.
वो माइक नहीं ले रहा सर.
काजल माइक ले यार, बोल देना कुछ. What did we do in the last class? The student sitting next to you will help you out. Everyone will help you out. You can speak all at the same time, so I'll get all your voices. Yes, Kajal, tell me, what did we do in the last class? Jaldi. I don't have the time of the entire universe, beta. Time is running very fast. Tell me, fatafat.
PN junction, sir.
Yes, sir.
PN junction.
What did you say?
PN junction.
PN junction. Okay, tell me what about PN junction? What all you remember about PN junction? Fatafat. बोलना क्या याद है? What do you remember about PN junction apart from the name of PN junction? बोल जल्दी. Fast. Hey, someone help her out, na? So someone help Kajal out.
Sir.
Yes, beta.
Allowed method.
I can't hear you. What did you say? Speak louder. Okay. Someone help her out. Someone who has a loud voice, high-pitched voice can help her out. She has a very sweet voice, but I can't hear it. My ears are not that well. Yes.
सर हमारा क्लास में पूजा का हाई पिच वॉइस है सर.
पूजा का क्या है? हाँ. Give the mic to Pooja. Come on, फटाफट जल्दी कर. हाँ. पूजा जल्दी बोल. Pooja. अरे, such a lovely name you have got. Pooja, come on fast. You have two mics. That's better. Okay. Pooja has come in the limelight. Now she is there on the big screen. Yes, Pooja. Tell me, what did we do in the last class? What about PN junction diode? Did you remember? Come on. If you don't remember, I'll help you out. Fast. Yes, tell me.
PN junction.
PN junction diode. What we remember about that? We have a P and an N. And do you remember anything about the biasing?
Sir.
What, sir? Tell me now, sir, what do you remember about biasing? Arey? Pooja only remember that PN junction. No. Yes. I'm very disappointed with the performance of girls. They don't know anything. And that's contrary to what I was thinking. I thought that girls are doing better than guys. That was my first impression. Boys are backbenchers, girls at least are in the front row. Yes. जल्दी, we don't have time. चल, पूजा को नहीं बोलना है. चलो लड़को तुम ही बोलो. Tell me about what we remember about PN junction diode. फटाफट. Forward biasing, reverse biasing. Give me a quick summary. फटाफट. फटाफट. I wasted 5 minutes here. फटाफट जल्दी 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 जल्दी.
Sir, in PN junction,
Yes.
combining of P and N type of semiconductors,
Okay.
there are two methods, ally method and diffusion.
अरे जाने दे वो method. Tell me about biasing method. They are not going to ask. Yes. Biasing, biasing, biasing. I am biased. I like girls more. They are more sincere. Biasing. What do you mean by biasing there? Everyone is looking back in the sheet. That means we have not studied before coming to the class. Yes or no? We have not studied now before coming to the class today. So I'll give you 5 minutes, all of you. 5 quick minutes. In 5 quick minutes, you will go through what we have done in the last class. Because if you don't understand this, we will not be able to solve any question that I'm going to do today. So I'll give you 5 quick minutes. 5 minutes. Everyone will go through what we have done in the last class. Fatafat. 5 minutes. Okay, sir, then tell me, what do you understand by biasing, reverse biasing, forward biasing? What is that? Fatafat.
Sir, in forward bias, P side is positive.
P side is not positive. P side is connected to positive terminal. Yes. What next? What next?
N type is connected to negative
What?
terminal.
Yeah. So what happens in that case? When I connect P to positive and N to negative, what happens in that case?
The majority charge carries, sir.
The current will flow and the majority charge carriers will be what?
Forward bias.
Okay. The depletion layer will become shorter,
Short, thin.
thinner, narrower, and you will have a large amount of current flowing. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
Then we have reverse biasing. P is connected to negative terminal, N is connected to positive terminal, and we literally have no current at all. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
And I told you that PN junction diode can be used as a switch. When it is forward bias, the switch is on. When it is reverse bias, the switch is off. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
Can I have some raise hand from all of you? That we remember this. Okay, then we saw a full wave rectifier, we saw half wave rectifier, we saw pulses, and we saw the frequency of the current that is coming. Are we there on the same page, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Then, sir, this question, sir.
5/50.
What? I did not even start with the question, and I am there with the answer. That means we have done this question before, and that is a very good sign, bacha. But let me first say something, na.
I
Okay.
is equals to V by R, voltage by resistance. Current is equals to V by R, 5 volts by 50.
अरे कैसे आया भाई? I mean, I am not so bright, भाई. My processor is very old. I have a old processor. So I must be told how it is done. Now, first of all, what you have to understand in this question, I'll give you. Has every one of you done this question?
Yes, sir. The current passing through the forward bias, positive terminal.
Arey girls, no one is raising hands. I am raising hand. Okay. So if everyone has done this, so I'll just go through. Yes, bacha, you were telling me how to do it. What's your name, beta? I don't remember name. Tell me your name.
Sonu.
Sonu Sood. Yes, Sonu Sood. Tell me how this is done.
Positive terminal is connected to the P junction. The
Positive terminal is connected to P junction. So
current
this is our P. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And it is connected to positive. So this is forward bias. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. The current passes through it.
This is also P, but this is connected to negative. So this is reverse bias. Nothing goes in this circuit. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the only thing will go in this circuit. It is a very simple thing. You have to find out the current in the circuit. Total voltage is 5. Both the resistance are in series. 50. 5 divided by 50, and the answer is B. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So we understand how simple the questions are. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If we just remember simple things, we should be able to solve all these questions very easily. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then, just to have one more of these. Again, I guess you would have done this, but again, I need to discuss this. And a PN junction. This is AIPMT 2002, NEET 2002. NEET was not there. It was AIPMT.
High potential is at P side, N side, and low potential at P side. A option, sir.
Well done, sir. I did not even finish the question. High potential is on N side.
Yes, sir.
How did you get this?
N is having most majority of free electrons.
Okay. Everyone has done this question? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So we understand how it has been done. I can move forward. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Well done, sir. I'm really very happy, sir. You have done a lot of things on your own, sir. Then, sir, this question, sir, fatafat, sir, give me the answer, sir.
B, sir.
Everyone, sir.
B, sir.
11. The depletion layer decreases in a PN junction diode when the diode is at forward biasing. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See, sir, questions are so simple, sir.
Yes, sir.
We just remember simple things, sir. We will be able to solve any question, sir. One more. This one, sir. Reverse bias is applied to a junction diode AIPMT, that is NEET 2003. Tell me the answer, sir.
D, sir.
B, sir. Reverse
Minority
biasing
carrier.
raises the potential barrier. We understand this, sir. Please raise your hand, sir.
Yes, sir.
Girls are not there in the
Sir.
class. No, they are there. Pooja is there. Kajal has shifted, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. I can't see her, sir. So your camera is focused on the guys, sir, and the girls have been left out, sir. Anyway, sir. Let us move on to the next question, sir. Fatafat, sir. Tell me this answer, sir.
Diode of design, sir. A.
Well done, sir. So you know doping density, you know temperature, you know forward bias. The only thing you don't know
Yes,
is
sir.
diode design, sir, and that is the answer, sir. And congratulations. See how many questions you have solved of the NEET 2003 and 14 and 15, sir. We understand this, sir. Whatever
Yes, sir.
information we have given is so important, sir, that you have to remember it, sir. Again, this is what we had discussed in the previous class. Yes.
100, sir. Full wave rectifier.
Do you understand this now? The importance of each
Yes,
and
sir.
everything that we discuss in the class. Good. That is why I'm just pointing out that the questions have come, and that is the reason that we had done this. Let me take you to the here. Rajasthan PMT. There was a PMT for Rajasthan. It was very tough. Same question has come many times. So this one. And remember, everything comes from the simple things that we have done in the previous classes. Yes. Correct statement for diode is in full wave rectifier, both diode works alternatively. In full wave rectifier, both diodes work simultaneously. Efficiency of full wave rectifier and half wave rectifier is same. Full wave rectifier is bidirectional. Directional की spelling गलत है, but it's okay. Yes, sir. Anyone with an answer, sir?
B, sir.
B, sir. They work simultaneously. For positive half cycle, ऊपर वाला diode works. For negative half cycle, नीचे वाला diode works. Are they working simultaneously?
No, sir. Alternate.
Alternatively. So the answer is what, sir?
A, sir.
A, sir. So why did you say B, sir?
Sir, my friends are my friends. Sorry, sir.
Your friend is not going to write your exam, beta.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, sir. Next one, sir. Fatafat, sir. Answer, sir. Your aims 2003, sir.
Sir, P type.
Pakka, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good, sir. Well done, sir. I hope everyone understands this, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everything is just what happened?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Someone has left the class. I was doing this thing, sir. I hope everyone has done questions, and as you can see, questions are pretty damn simple. I will take one more on this.
Yes, sir.
Again from your NEET 2004. Remember, as you can see, every year 1 or 2 questions have come. Do we see this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Answer, sir.
A, sir. Valency band are partially empty and conduction band are partially filled.
31. That is correct, sir. We understand it, sir. Just have to read the option and you just need to take the correct option. There are very less numericals from this. And that is why we are not doing numerical. Bachcha, samajh mein aaya? Did you understand this, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Again, sir. A
Yes,
simple
sir.
question based on what we have learned in the class, sir. If you don't know that, if you don't remember that, you are gone. In a half wave rectifier, peak value, maximum value of signal is 10 volt. What is the DC component? I gave you that note. Yes or no?
The 10 by pi V.
10 by pi V. We understand this. Everyone, please raise your hand, sir.
Yes, sir.
I am not seeing these hands. Girls are not there in the class. There. So, whatever we have discussed in the class, bacha, you must understand that everything is important that I have told you, because I have seen questions from that appearing, and that is why we have done this. 2 more questions and then we'll move on to today's class. This one. Again, see, AIPMT 2004, there were 2 questions. In fact, 3
Intensity of
questions
light.
from this. Yes.
Intensity of light.
33B. Due to monochromatic light, EMF due to monochromatic light is proportional to PN barrier, intensity of light, frequency of light, PN applied voltage. Photocell. And the answer is intensity of light. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Well done, sir. You have done the entire exercise, sir. I am very happy, sir. You can just do these 110, 120 questions. I can assure you that no question will come outside this purview. Everything has been covered. One more question. See, AIPMT 2004, there are 4 or 5 questions. Same thing. In the given diagram, which PN junction is reverse biased? Reverse biased. No, you just have to apply some common sense. Girls, are we there in the class? Kajal, Pooja? Yes. Kajal is there, Pooja is not there. Now, Pooja is also there. Okay. I thought in Navratra, I mean, do you know this is the days of Navratri? Do you know this? South, I don't think they celebrate Navratri, but it's like Navratri here in the northern part of the country. And we all worship goddess Durga in various forms. Worship means puja, puja means arti. So I think Puja was involved in the worshipping part.
She's happy,
Now
sir.
she is there in the
She
class.
smiles in it.
Yes, which one is reverse biased?
Yes, sir. B, sir. Answer.
B, sir, answer, sir. But, sir, why not A, sir? Why not C, sir? Why not D, sir? There must be a reason behind it.
5 volts.
So basically what you got to see, bacha, here, and please remember my words, that this P part, this is the P part, and this is the N part. For reverse biasing, let us talk about forward biasing. For forward biasing, this has to be positive and this has to be negative for forward biasing. But when I say positive and negative, it does not mean absolute positive and absolute negative. It means that this P side should be positive with respect to N side, and N side should be negative with respect to P side. Do we understand this? Positive and negative means with respect to each other, with respect to each other. The P side must be positive with respect to the N side, and N side must be negative with respect to the P side. That is for forward biasing. For reverse biasing, we do the reverse of it. That means for reverse biasing, which I will show in red color, For reverse biasing, this P side should be this P should be negative and this N should be positive with respect to the other one. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now, what do we see here? What is the voltage of the P side? The voltage of P side here is 0 and voltage of N side here is +5. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That means this N side is positive with respect to the P side. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And that is why the answer is B, sir. If you look at any other of these places, they are not reverse biased. For example, if I take option A, this is the N side and this is the P side. P side is -5 and N side is -12. So N is negative with respect to P. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
And that is why, sir, option A is the wrong option, sir. And that is how you can eliminate the other options. Can I have some reason that we understand this? Everyone? Okay. Let me see if I have any other question here. Or I should move ahead in life, sir. I think we are almost done with everything, because right after this the question are all of the transistor thing. I think all of them are of transistor one. Okay. No, I think this is one question which is not in the transistor range, so we will do this also so that we complete this this section. Okay, one more. This one. Choose the only false statement, not the true one, the false one, from the following. This is question number 69, AIPMT 2005. May I have the answer, please?
First statement, resistivity.
69, guy. First statement, the resistivity of a conductor, it does not increase, but it decreases with increase in temperature. And as you can see, everything that we had done in the notes have come as question in the examination hall. On that note, let us now move on to today's lecture. And if I am correct, I had given you some task, some home task, some homework. Have you done that homework? I'd asked you to do that filter thing. And as you can see, there has been no question from the filter part. The only question that can come is, what is the input and what is the output? Do you remember the input and output of the filter? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Then, sir, what I asked you to do in the class, sir, but in the home, sir. But if you have not done that, sir, it's my duty to do it now, sir. Zener diode. Do you remember what's the Zener diode? Do you know what is a Zener diode? Yes or no? See, everyone is going back in the past. So a Zener diode, this is the symbol for Zener diode. Did we discuss that symbol? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes. A Zener diode, it has a breakdown voltage and it is always reverse bias. Do we remember this?
Yes, sir.
It is always reverse bias, and when it is reverse bias, what happens is it can be used as a voltage regulator. Now, what do you mean by a voltage regulator? If you can see this diagram over here, I have put an AC voltage here. I have put an AC voltage here, or it might be a DC. I have put a fluctuating voltage over here. Now you can see whether this is a forward bias or reverse bias. This is the negative terminal, yes or no?
Sir.
And this is the P side, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So is it for forward bias or is it reverse bias?
It is
It is reverse bias. And when it is reverse bias, it is always working on a fixed voltage that is known as the breakdown voltage or the Zener voltage. So it will always keep that voltage constant. This is what I call it as the load. A load can be your lamp, a load can be your fan, a load can be your TV. So this is that load. And once the Zener is working in its breakdown range, when it is reverse bias, it will always keep the voltage of this load constant. So you will always get a constant voltage over here. And therefore, the Zener diode is used as a voltage regulator. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
What all things we need to remember? It always works on
Reverse bias.
reverse bias. It always works on reverse bias, and it will keep the voltage constant. Do we
Regulation.
understand this?
Yes, sir.
If it is not reverse bias, then it is not a Zener diode. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Please note this down, sir, and you draw this diagram, sir, because it is very important, sir, because this diagram can come in the examination also. Remember, it is reverse bias. I'll give you a minute to win it. Yes, bacha, you have noted this down?
Completed, sir.
Okay. So remember, a Zener diode functions as a Zener diode only when it is reverse bias, and then it will keep the voltage constant. We understand this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, what will happen if it is forward bias? If it is forward bias, it behaves as a normal diode. Do we understand this?
Yes,
A
sir.
normal diode, it will just behave as a normal diode. It will just allow current to flow in the forward direction. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
And you have to understand this, note this. It will behave as a simple diode in forward biasing. You will note down this. In forward bias, it always works as a simple diode, and this is the characteristic curve for a Zener diode. And remember, it is always drawn in the reverse bias range, because in the forward bias range it is same as a simple diode. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
You have to note this down. I'll give you a minute.
Completed.
I guess you have done this, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Then, sir, this, sir. Again, everything that we are doing in the class, they are going to come as question in your examination. All this gentleman that you see here with light falling on this, there could be a simple question. What is this? And this is what? This is a photodiode. A junction diode made from light or photosensitive conductors. When light falls, it starts to emit, is known as a photodiode, and it is represented by this symbol. We just saw a question on photodiode. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
When light of energy H into F, remember, energy of light is determined by its frequency. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Check.
When this energy is more than the energy gap, in photoelectric effect, it was more than the work function. Here it is more than the energy gap. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
There it was work function. Here it is energy gap. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you relate things that you had done previously to things that you are doing right now. More electrons move from the valence band to the conduction band, due to which the current in the circuit of photodiode in reverse bias increases. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
As light intensity is increased, the current goes on increasing. So the photodiode is used to detect the light intensity in a video camera, how much light is coming. That is done by this photodiode. So you'll have to note this down point wise. First point is energy should be more than energy gap. If more energy falls, more electron can jump. So the current will increase. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This is what is called as photodiode. Light is falling, current is flowing. Light is falling, current is flowing. Light is falling, current is flowing. Similar to photoelectric effect, but this is a diode. I'll give you a minute to win it. Give you a minute to win it. I hope all of you are going to win it. I hope we have noted this down.
10 seconds.
Yes.
Completed, sir.
Then we come to the reverse of this. What will be the reverse of this? In this, light is falling, current is flowing. Light is falling, current is flowing. What will be the reverse of this?
Less electron.
What will be the reverse of this? Light is falling, current is flowing. What will be the reverse of this?
Energy is less than energy gap.
Light is falling, current is flowing. What is the reverse of this?
Once again, sir.
Huh?
Current is flowing, light is emitting.
Yes, current is flowing, light is emitting, and that is the LED. You must be having LED in your class. Yes or no?
Sir.
The light that I'm using here is also an LED, light emitting diode. Remember, it is always forward biased. Do we understand this?
Sir.
It is always forward biased, and you can see the arrows are ulta. Current is flowing, light is emitted, LED. Do we understand this?
Sir, light emitting
Junction diode made up of gallium arsenic. The energy, the light is in the visible range, and that is why these are made up of the light that we see. Draw the diagram. It has to be forward biased, current flowing, light emitted. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to understand. That all you need to remember. Please note it down. You can also tick it in the sheet if you don't have enough time to note it down, because I think you also understand that we'll have to move faster. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Yes, sir. Completed, sir. Then, sir. Again, you can note this down. Solar cell. The symbol for the solar cell is like this. It is used for converting solar energy into electrical energy. You understand this? It is a junction diode. One is P and one is N, and it is made very thin. That is what you need to remember. This diode is known as a solar cell. The symbol is this. It is operated as a photovoltaic cell, that is generation of voltage due to bombardment of light. No external bias, remember, it is not biased at all. Photodiode is reverse biased. This thing is forward biased, right?
Sir.
That's it. That's you need to remember here. The one more point is active junction area is kept large. Whatever large area you have, it will receive more light, and therefore you will have more energy. These are the points that you must remember. Just highlight those points, write them in short if you can, and we are done with this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Solar cell. Just have to remember the symbol. They might ask you which of them is a solar cell, which of them is used to convert solar energy into electricity, and they will give you 4 symbols. You just have to mark the correct symbol. Yes or no? Shall we move further ahead in life?
Sir, move forward.
As you see, life moves on and life has to move on. This PN junction can also be used as a variable capacitor or varactor. This is a symbol for varactor. This P behaves as a positive pole, this N behaves as the negative pole, and this depletion barrier behaves as the dielectric. Do we understand this? This is all you need to remember. You can write it like this, you can draw it like this, and the symbol is this. It can be used as a capacitor. I hope all of us understand this.
Sir, explain once again, sir.
Yes, sir, you can note it down, sir. No problem, sir.
Sir, repeat it again, sir.
You just have to remember that the P side behaves as positive pole, N side behaves as negative pole, and the depletion layer behaves as a dielectric. A junction diode can be used as a capacitor. Variable capacitor, its capacity or capacity to hold charge. You can change it. You can change the depletion layer. You can change the dielectric. When you change the dielectric, capacitance changes. Yes or no?
Sir,
Yes, sir. If you change the capacitance, if you change the dielectric, fill it with a dielectric with more dielectric constant, capacitance increases. Similarly, you can increase or decrease the depletion layer, and hence you can change the capacitance. Do we understand this?
yes, sir.
That's it, sir. That is all you need to understand, sir. Shall I move on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
One simple question, sir. Again, we have already solved this question. This is just to tell you that what types of questions come, and this is the type of question that come. You will have a simple diode. You have to find out. You have to see whether the diode is forward biased or not. If it is forward biased, it will allow current to flow. If it is reverse biased, it will not
Forward
allow current to
bias.
flow. In this case, what is the current in the circuit?
It is a forward bias.
4.5 divided by 1000, because this is forward bias. If I make this diode like this, then the current in the circuit will become. If I
Forward
put the
bias.
diode like this, then the current in the circuit will become 0. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
That is all that you need to do as questions in this particular topic. I'll give you a minute to win it. A minute to win it. A minute to win it. Have you won it? Oh no, you're still losing, struggling. Shall we move ahead in life? Are?
Done, sir. Completed.
Well done. There was a poet known as Ramdhari Singh Dinkar. Have you heard about his name? Have you heard his name? He was a national poet, Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, and there was a time when India was getting independent and everyone was struggling for independence. And then he said a very nice poem, and just remember a part of it. And it said that, बहुत काम बाकी है मित्रों, बहुत काम बाकी है मित्रों. In English, it means there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
And we have to keep moving. So Ramdhari Dinkar Sir Ji, he said, बहुत काम बाकी है मित्रों. So the next काम that is बाकी है मित्रों is transistor. Now, this is not the transistor that we use. This is not radio transistor that we are talking about. This is transistor. This is right now we have done a diode. This is sort of a triode, because it does not have two plates or two semiconductors P and N. It has three. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It has three terminals. You can call it triode in that sense. Three terminals. So it could be a P and P. Between two P there is one N, or it could be an NP. And do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Then some information based on your knowledge. Who invented it? I don't remember it. You will have to remember it. A question may come directly. Who invented it? Remember these names. It's a three-terminal device. All of us know this, which transfer a signal from a low resistance circuit to a high resistance circuit. Very important point that you must remember. Input is low resistance. Output is high resistance. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
It is formed when a thin layer of one type of extrinsic semiconductor is sandwiched between two thick layers. So that means the outer ones are thick and the inner one is thin. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So in a PNP, N will be very thin and P will be very thick. In a NPN, P will be very thin and N will be very thick. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
NPN, PNP, they have got different name. One is the emitter, one is the base, and one is the collector. One emits, one is the base, and one collects. Someone collects, someone gives, and someone is the base. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir. Base.
Receiving, collector, emitting, giving back, and then there is a base. Do we
Base.
understand this? Emitter, base, collector. Emitter, base, collector. Emitter is emitting, collector is collecting, base is doing the beach wala part. Okay?
Yes, sir. Base. Yes, sir.
A minute to win it. Note it down.
Done, sir.
Well done, sir. Itna jaldi, sir.
Sir,
Your speed has become incredible, sir. Incredible Hulk. That is normally the first movie in the Avengers Hulk series. It's always called the Incredible Hulk. And then they tell us how this Hulk is manufactured or how this Hulk came into being. How did Hulk came into being? General knowledge question. Marvel Avengers.
Avengers.
Yes. No idea. Okay. I leave it to you to find out how Hulk was manufactured or how Hulk came into being. Right now, our Hulks are three. We have got three Marvel heroes: emitter, base, and collector. Just have to remember what they stand for. Emitter. It is oops. What has happened here? Emitter is oops. Not good. Emitter. What's happening here? Not good. Okay. Let me be more careful. Emitter, it is the leftmost part of the transistor P and P. So the leftmost is the emitter. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
It emits majority carrier towards the base. It emits towards the base. It is highly doped and it is medium in size. You will have to remember the characteristics. Do we understand
Yes,
this?
sir. Yes, sir.
You will have to remember the characteristics, which is heavily doped, which is medium in size, which does what? Base, base, Navy base, Army base, Air Force base. It is the middle part of the transistor PNP. So N becomes your
Base.
base. It is sandwiched between the emitter and the collector. Emitter is written by E, collector by C, base by B. So it becomes EBC. ECB is England Cricket Board. EBC is nothing. It is lightly doped. It is very thin, lightly doped, and thin in size. You will have to remember the characteristics. I can't help you on that. You will have to remember this. Collector P and P. The rightmost side is the collector, is the right part of the transistor which collects the majority carrier, which is emitted by the emitter. Emitter emits it towards the base and collector collects it from the base. It has a large size. This has a medium one. This has a small one. This has a large side and it is moderately doped. This is highly doped. This is moderately doped. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Then every transistor shall have two junctions, P and P. So there is one junction between P and N. Then there is one junction between N and P. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So one junction will be between emitter and base. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It will be known as emitter base junction. One junction would be between base and collector, and it will be known as base collector junction. I'll give you a minute to win it. Anyone having any doubt?
No, sir.
You'll have to note everything down, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir. It is very good, sir. We are moving with good pace, sir. And I appreciate this pace, because we have to keep pace in life, else we are all doomed. Doomed. We have very less time. Do you have any idea when your NEET is going to happen? Yes, sir. No, sir.
Sir?
Anyway, sir, we come to the different type of transistors, sir.
Yes,
Two
sir.
types, PNP, NPN. Just have a look. Is there anything that I should tell you here?
Yes, sir.
Two, between two, one is sandwich. The left side is the emitter. The beachwala is the base. It is thin, as you can see. The right side is the collector. And this is how that symbol it is. Remember the direction of current here. It is from base towards the emitter, because the base is P type. It's from P towards N. Do we understand this? This is
Yes,
what
sir.
you got to remember. The direction of arrows is the most important thing here. If you understand these directions, you are done. Will you remember this direction? Can I have
Yes,
some
sir.
raised hands from everyone in the class, including Pooja and Kajal? The most important part of this class. Kajal is enjoying his scenes. Kajal has a very good voice. I could not hear the voice of Pooja. Maybe I'll be more fortunate in the next class. Anyways, 1 minute. Note it down. This is NPN. Remember the direction of arrows. Right. Don't look at the face. Don't look at the screen. Right. Right, everyone. Right. All the head should be on the desk. Writing stuff. Writing stuff, because that is the only way you are going to remember this, bacha. Direction of arrow is very important, and please do not trust your sheet. This sheet is not going to help you out. What is going to help you out is what you have written in the notebook, because that is when you take some time to draw it, and in that time when you are drawing it, you will remember it. Don't read it, you will forget it, bacha. I have never understood anything in my life by reading. A minute to note down the two diagrams that I have given. You can see that diagram, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
PNP, emitter base collector, NPN transistor, and the direction of current is from base towards emitter, from P towards N. It's always from P towards N. Remember this. A minute to win it. We'll have to finish this chapter by tomorrow. Tomorrow may ek aur maro. If I maro one more in tomorrow, it becomes day after tomorrow. Don't have that much time that we can take for this chapter. We'll have to finish this chapter by tomorrow. I sent you two sheets, right? One was for semiconductor. What was the other one for?
Logic gates.
Huh?
Logic gates.
Logic gates. Yes. So in the next class, we will be starting and we will be also finishing logic gates. And again, 1 or 2 questions are going to come from those logic gates. Gates. Logic. PNP transistor. Are we done with it? Are we done with NPN? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you're done with NPN, then becomes PNP. 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 E is here, B is here, C is here. Everything remains same. Here it comes P, here it comes P, but here it is N. Do we understand the difference? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Do we understand the difference here? Can anyone tell me? Pooja, Kajal, can you tell me what is the difference in this symbol? From the previous symbol, what is the difference? Huh?
Direction change towards base.
Yes, direction of current has changed and it is towards the base, and that is what you need to remember. Remember, it is always from P type towards the N type. From P type towards the N type. From P type towards the N type in the emitter base section. From P type to N type, emitter base. That is what you got to remember. And I'll give you a minute to win it.
Completed, sir.
Done, sir? Then, sir, this part, sir, the working of a NPN transistor. You don't have to go into the detail working all these things. What you got to remember is probably not this diagram, but this one is what you got to remember. And you got to remember, you'll have to draw the right side of the diagram that I'll show you in big. But before going into that, one thing that you have to remember is the emitter base junction is forward biased. Mark it in big bold letters. Write it in big bold letters. If you forget this, you are done. Collector base junction is reverse biased of a NPN transistor circuit. Emitter base is forward bias, collector base is reverse bias. Write it in bold letters, very bold letters, and then you draw this diagram, and so you should never forget this diagram in your entire life. Your entire life right now consists of the day when you appear for your NEET exam. That is the day this part of the life finishes. So for this part of your life, you should never forget this diagram. What are the things that you have to remember in this? I'll show them to you one by one, and you will note them down with this diagram very patiently. Very patiently. Remember, this is N. Oops. This is N. This is P, and this is N. Do we understand this? Yes or no? Bolo. We understand
Yes,
this?
sir.
The direction of current here is from P to N. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
This current is known as the emitter current. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
And as you can see, this emitter is N and it is connected to negative terminal. So therefore, this is forward bias, FB. Yes or no? FB. All of us like FB. All of you like FB. Facebook, Instagram. So Facebook is here. Do you understand Facebook?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And sir, what do you see here, sir? This is N type and this is connected to positive. So this is not Facebook. This is a reverse of Facebook. This is Meta. No, this is reverse Facebook. RB. We understand this? You understand
sir.
this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is forward bias FB, reverse bias RB. Remember, the emitter current is coming like here, IE, and then it is going up, IB, and then it is going in this side, IC. So I can apply the junction law here, or old junction law, or old junction law, old junction law. And what will I get from this junction law? Tell me, what is the relation between IE, IB, and IC? Tell me, fatafat. What will be the relation between IA, IE, IB, and IC? Tell me, fatafat. No one knows this. Shameful. Relation between IE, IB, and IC. Junction law at this point, bacha. Junction law at this point. Incoming, outgoing. You see incoming, you see outgoing. Yes or no? Everyone is lost. IE will be equal to
IB plus IC.
IB plus IC. Never forget this in your entire life. NPN. Common base. Common base. The base is common. IE will be equal to IB plus IC. You have to remember this diagram and note the points that I have told you. I'll give you a minute to win it. Everyone understands this? Anyone has any doubts?
No, sir.
Well done, sir. Then, sir, once you are done with this, we'll probably do working of a PNP transistor. And I think that would be for today's class. I think we can cover the rest of the portion in the next class. I'm waiting for your signal that comes from your side. That tells me, sir, everything is good, sir, and we have done this thing, sir.
Completed.
So, sir, you can move forward in life, sir.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Done, sir. Just give me a minute, sir. Oops, sir, what has happened here, sir? Trying to open something and it is not opening. Okay, let me see where we have come. Done here, we are done here. We are here, here, in. Okay. Okay, we are done. Yes, we are done. So we'll do this, and we are done. Okay. You noted this down, bacha? Shall I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Since we have understood the working of NPN, now is the time that we are going to understand the working of
PNP.
PNP. PNP. Now again, what you should note down here. I'll give you a minute to tell me what you are noting down here. And then I will make the diagram bigger so that you can see it. Let me make the diagram bigger first. PNP transistor we are talking about here. And we look at the, again, I will tell you what you need to look and what you need to pay attention to. So what are the things that we need to pay attention to, bacha? Can anyone tell me? Pooja, Kajal, or Sonu Sood? Yes.
P2N current.
Yes.
P2N
The first thing that we have to understand is this is P, this is N, and this is P. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The direction of current is from P to N. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And therefore the emitter current is going like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We can see the FB here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We can see RB here. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now look at the direction of current. If I go to this point, emitter current is going like this. Base current is coming from here. And collector current is coming from here. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
What equation you can write from here, sir?
I equals to IB plus IC. Same.
IE will be equal to
IB plus IC.
IB plus IC. The condition still remains same, but the direction of currents have changed. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
I'll give you a minute, 2 minutes, sir.
Done, sir.
Sorry, sir. It's so quick, sir. Give me some time to think what we have to do next, sir. Not giving me any time to think, sir. Okay. Done this, everyone. I'll move on to the next point and we'll try to cover as much as possible in this part. And the heading of this part is this one. Characteristics of a transistor. Characteristics of a transistor. To see the characteristics of a transistor, remember junction base is forward bias, yes or no? Emitter base is forward bias, yes or no?
Sir.
Collector base is reverse bias.
Yes, sir.
Transistor has 3 terminals, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, depending on how they are connected, we can have a common base connector, we can have a common emitter connector, and we can have a common collector. And again, something has gone wrong, so I'll just remove this. And the third one is the common collector. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Which one of them is the most widely used? The common emitter
Common base.
series. Common emitter is the most widely used, and the common collector is more rarely used. So we'll only do one of these type, and that is what that comes into examination hall, common emitter type. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
I'll give you a minute, sir, to note this down, sir.
Okay, sir.
Please let me know when you are done.
Done, sir.
So fast, so good.
Thanks, sir.
Now, there are 2 types of characteristics that we have to do. One is known as the input characteristics,
Output
and the other one is known as
output character.
output characteristics. So everything has a input and everything has a output. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
You input something and you give out something. And I told you in a transistor, input is lower resistance and output is high resistance. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
Input characteristics. So what is the input here, bacha? Can you see the input?
Sir.
The input is the base current. Do we understand this? Base current is the input. This is the input that we are getting. Base current is the input. And this base emitter voltage. If we draw the graph between the base emitter voltage and the base current, that is the input characteristic graph. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
But here, the third thing has to be kept constant. The emitter
Voltage.
collector voltage has to be kept constant. Do we
Constant.
understand this?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is the complicated diagram. You can see, you can draw this. Nothing has changed. Emitter base is forward bias, collector is reverse bias. We can see that. The only thing you have to draw this diagram. There is nothing that you understand in this diagram. You will draw it. You only remember the direction of current. Do you see the direction of currents here? What type of transistor it is? It is NPN or PNP?
PNP.
PNP or NPN?
PN.
NPN, okay, because current always goes from P to N. Do we understand this?
PN.
Yeah, yes, sir. No, sir. We understand this, sir.
Yes, sir.
And this is the input characteristic graph. As I increase the voltage, base emitter voltage, the current increases. If collector emitter junction is at 0 volt, this is the graph. When you increase the voltage of collector emitter, the graph shifts towards right. If I make it more high, the graph will shift more on the right hand side. You'll have to remember this graph. Can you remember it for me, bacha?
Yes, sir.
Please draw it, sir, and remember it, sir. This is the input characteristics.
Okay, sir.
Common emitter type of transistor. Which type of transistor?
Common emitter type of transistor.
Yes, sir. Please remember the input characteristics, sir. You may not have to draw the entire thing. You can just note it down so that we can proceed further. Do we understand this? Because
Yes,
it
sir.
may take time for you to draw the left hand side wala diagram. But what is important is not the left hand side wala diagram. This is a circuit diagram. No one is going to ask you that. What is more important is the right hand side wala graph. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
That is what you need to draw and see. Have you done that, bacha?
Done, sir.
Shall I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
So how do you do this graph? Keep the keep the collector emitter voltage constant. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then you change the emitter base voltage and find out the current. You plot the graph and you can plot it at a different voltage as well. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Then I just move on to the output characteristics. Again, the diagram of the transistor is same. We just plot the output, and the output here is the collector current. Do we understand this? Input is the base current, output is the
Collector current.
collector current. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You draw a graph between collector emitter voltage and collector current. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
And here we keep the base, not voltage, but base current constant. So you have to remember all these things, and I can't help you how you can remember this. You have to remember all this. So here when you increase the collector emitter voltage, the current increases at different values of base current. When the base current is low, the graph is like this. When the base current is increased, the graph becomes like this. Keep the base current constant, change the collector emitter voltage, plot the value of current, plot the graph, then again change the value of base current, and this is how you get the graph. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
You'll have to remember this graph and see what happens when the base current is increased, how the graph moves up. This is what you got to remember, nothing else. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Please draw the graph. Let me know when you are done. Shall we move ahead, bacha?
Yes, sir.
And this is what we will have to understand, not understand, maybe remember, because a question will come directly based on this. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just tell you and you will remember this. Try to remember this for your exam. This is transistor having two N junction, emitter base and collector base. On the basis of junction condition, transistor work in four regions. Four regions: active, inverse active, cutoff, and saturation. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
Emitter base and collector base are the two junctions. We understand this.
Yes, sir.
This is forward bias, this is reverse bias. That is the condition that we have done. This is the active region. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
That is what we have done. But that is not the only condition possible. If this becomes reverse biased and this becomes forward biased, so we ulta it, we reverse it. So the
Inverse.
condition becomes inverse active. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
So this is easy to remember. The next two ones may not be so easy to remember. This is reverse and this is reverse. So cut off, nothing happens here. It's cut off. This is forward and this is forward. We have the maximum possible or saturation region. Do we understand this?
Yes, sir.
You will have to remember this. There is no escaping this fact. Will you remember this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what we'll do is I'll again give you some homework to do in tomorrow's class. What you are seeing right now on your screen is your homework. You will have to remember this. Can you remember this? Can I have a raise of hands that we remember this?
Yes,
We'll do this and before coming to class tomorrow. Yes, dancing hands are good. And the next thing is also what you are going to do. What is the size of the emitter? How it is doped? You will have to remember this. Can you do this thing for me? These two things before you come to the class tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Breakfast or no breakfast? Porridge or no porridge? Maggie or no Maggie? Can you do this?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Then, sir, we will meet, sir, in the next class, sir. Okay. You dance like this? Okay. Okay. So next class, you will do this before coming to the class. Can I trust you on this?
Yes, sir.
At the same time, you also need to complete the exercise that you are already doing. And I hope you have enough faith that you can do this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then, sir, this is all from my side, sir. If you have any thing that you want to ask, sir, you can ask. Triple R is making record. It has crossed 900 CR. So good news for all of us. Anything else apart from Triple R? That is KGF2 is also coming. So again, that's a good news. Anything else that I should know and I don't know? Yes, yes, tell me.
Beast also coming.
Beast. Oh, I did not hear about Beast. I saw a promo for KGF2. I saw part 1, so I'm more interested in KGF. What is going to happen in 2? Again, I'll have to go back and see KGF part 1 first because I've forgotten. My memory is not so good. What happened there in that part? He went into a mine and he became the owner of that mine, and I think something else will happen now. Anyways, What is going to happen is going to happen. Tomorrow's class, we will wind off this chapter and probably start with logic gate. Logic gate is very simple and you can expect 1 or 2 questions coming from that. On that note, I'll end today's class. Have a good day. Have good lunch. Take care of your health. Bye-bye.
Take care, sir. Bye, sir.